Welcome, dear friends, to our time of devotional reflection for Wednesday, July the 26th, 2023. I'm Brian J. Munro, pastor of Kitimat First Baptist Church in beautiful Kitimat, British Columbia. This year we are following John MacArthur's devotional book entitled Drawing Near, Daily Readings for a Deeper Faith. Today's entry is entitled Your Secure Inheritance. From Scripture, we read from 1 Peter chapter 1, verses 4 and 5. And into an inheritance that can never perish, spoil, or fade. This inheritance is kept in heaven for you, who through faith are shielded by God's power until the coming of the salvation that is ready to be revealed in the last time. Our thought for today, friends, is your eternal inheritance is doubly secure. It is reserved for you, and you are reserved for it. Pastor MacArthur writes, when Peter wrote his first epistle, his first letter, attitudes towards Christians in the Roman Empire were not at all favorable, because they would not worship the emperor as a god or enter into other sinful pagan practices. Christians were looked upon with suspicion and disdain. In addition, Nero had blamed them for burning Rome, an act he himself perpetrated. So anger and hatred toward them was at its peak. Peter wrote to encourage them and all believers to live out their faith amid persecution, just as Jesus had done when he suffered unjustly. For further reading on that, look at 1 Peter chapter 2, verses 21 to 23. Peter reminded them that despite the sufferings they might endure in this life, God will reward them with an inheritance that is eternally secure because it is reserved in heaven for them. Reserved in 1 Peter chapter 1 verse 4 indicates an inheritance that already exists, is presently protected, and will continually be protected. The place of its protection is heaven, where neither moth nor rust destroys, and where thieves do not break in or steal. That's from the Gospel of Matthew chapter 6 verse 20. And where nothing unclean and no one who practices abomination and lying shall ever come into it, but only those whose names are written in the Lamb's book of life. That's from the book of the Revelation, chapter 21, verse 27. In other words, there is no safer place. Not only is your inheritance protected for you, but also you are protected for it. That's what Peter meant when he said it is reserved in heaven for you, who are protected by the power of God through faith for a salvation ready to be revealed in the last time. That's what we read, 1 Peter chapter 1 verses 4 and 5. The omnipotent, all-powerful, sovereign power of God will continually protect you until his work is fully accomplished in your life. Then he will grant you glorification, the fullness of the salvation for which he redeemed you. You needn't fear the loss of your inheritance. Instead, rejoice in the protection of our gracious God. As always, friends, I thank you for taking just a few minutes out of your day to listen to one of Pastor MacArthur's devotional reflections, and I am so grateful that I have the opportunity to be the one to read it for you. I've taken his suggestions for prayer and for further study, and I've placed them in the description portion of this video for your accessibility so that you can read them and interact with them. And I recommend you do, because they will enhance the ideas and the truth that has been presented to you already. Until we can be together tomorrow for another one of Pastor MacArthur's devotional reflections, I bid you go in the peace of the Lord.